Well, that was a pretty good night's sleep.
Yeah, there were a couple trains that went by.
Yeah.
That's all.
You know, and it's funny, I thought that we were pretty well level, but I'm pretty sure that all the blood rushed to my head by the morning. I think we were still a little sloped downwards.
Might have been.
Which with some of the rains here in Billings, you get some good rain here. Yeah, you need a good slope, but not complaining. That was my bad. Could have lifted it more. So we use those little aux blocks, and I don't think that we could get all the way where we need to be without those, but with them it's just fine. So anyways, we have technically 942 miles until our final destination for this mad dash, and we'll probably get, I suspect we'll get through Montana today at least.
I feel like we'll probably get to like
And Idaho's nothing.
Coeur d'Alene or maybe like Spokane.
There's one more day of driving. I'm kind of excited to share with you guys why we're heading out here. It's top secret right now.
Yeah.
Not really, but
Kind of.
It feels top secret. Also, I think I might have developed like an ear infection or maybe a sinus. I don't know. It's probably same thing Colt has. He's doing a lot better now. You can actually pet him and his ears don't hurt, and so I'm glad for that. That meds actually seem to be working, but the apple cider vinegar I think was working as well. It's just we weren't consistent enough with it for whatever reason.
I think that, and he had a bacterial infection and a yeast infection in his ear.
They did say there was two different things.
Yeah. So I think that like maybe the apple cider vinegar was helping with one but not the other kind of thing, so it wasn't fully going away.
Yeah, but whatever I've got going on, it seems to be like, you know, that feeling when your ears are plugged and you need to like blow your ears or pop your ears, right? I've got that only in one ear, and it's coming and going, so and it's kind of painful. Let's hope it doesn't get worse, and we're on it's as bad as it's been. So fingers crossed. This is the best part about our setup right here, I think. There are a lot of advantages, but this is definitely something that I usually wouldn't care about, but if you have it, it's a wonderful thing. We are flying past the big rigs here, and neither of our motorhomes would make it up this faster than 35 miles an hour, really.
Right.
I don't think. I mean, and they're, you know, it is what it is. But then going downhill, you feel all of the weight, and you don't want to go faster than 35, 40 miles an hour, really.
Right.
I mean, because you just feel all of that, like that inertia, that momentum, and you're like, oh, that's a whole lot. So having the 6.7 liter Cummins, it's a turbo diesel, which is wonderful. I mean, we're hauling. Granted, you don't get the best fuel economy. We're at like 13.3 average right now.
But that's way better than we were in the bus or in Bailey, our Holiday Rambler, or in Zeppelin, our Esteem. Like, still better.
Yeah, those were all like 7 miles per gallon.
Yeah, so we're definitely doing way better than we normally would be doing with any of the bigger rigs.
Yeah, and you know, I think you look at like the 7.2 liter inline 6 Cat C7, and you're like, oh, that's going to be really good for hauling. And it's like, yeah, you have the torque. There's a lot of torque, but not a whole lot of horsepower, so you don't get the speed for sure,
right.
Which is fine for a school bus, right? You don't have the exhaust brake, and that's my favorite part. Is that, especially if we set the cruise control, we have it in auto or smart. Yeah, we don't. It'll just maintain your speed. So if you set it at 55, it'll keep it at 55 down a hill. Don't have to touch the brakes. That's a lot of confidence for me, because especially if we had an even heavier trailer, which we've had in the past, you know, I want those brakes to be nice and cool for when they do need to be applied, and in the event of emergency, you know, that's kind of a nice deal. And the exhaust brake is definitely enough to drop you 20 miles an hour without touching the brakes at all. So
right.
Yeah, I gotta say that's a nice deal. Also, I've been looking to see if I can show. I just can't capture it, but you've noticed it just as well as I have many times. A lot of like the Jayco trailers, we've been seeing it because I think that's just because that's what's most popular. The front of the trailers have a big old bubble on the roof. So the front roof, big bubble.
The TPO roof, yeah.
It's yeah. So air is clearly getting in there, and just imagine what that it would do in the rain. Like that's, yeah. That's, and part of that might be improper installation. Obviously, there's a band that they screw into.
But like that's just unacceptable at this point. They've been using those roofs for so long that like they should be able to figure that out and fix that from the install point at this point. Like there's no excuse for that anymore.
Right. But my guess is when they're laying the metal down and then they put the TPO over that, which it should be the other way, because if you're going headwind, you obviously want the, and then they're putting a band in, and clearly the band is not, I mean, when you put the screws down and even if you lap seal it, it's not enough. So and it's not one, it's not two. We see, I want to say we've seen at least like 3 of them per day, every day of this trip.
Yeah, you know who will never have that problem? Us.
We did it when we had a TPO roof. Bailey had a TPO roof.
That was the only thing we didn't like about our Holiday Rambler when we bought it.
First bought it, yeah. And then we, developed some other preferences. But yeah, that was one thing. And then it did rip. There were a few times I threw some return bond on it, and but the manufacturers will never tell you that.
No.
They're not gonna, also, completely random fact we learned yesterday, apparently Sam's Club is older than Costco. I had no idea.
Yes.
But it's like by 3 to 6 months?
April to November, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, April to September, something like that.
Yeah. How funny is that?
Another fun fact is they don't have any Sam's Clubs in Washington.
Nope, not a single one. The reason we've been doing a compare and contrast, and we stopped at Costco to grab, water is cheaper at Costco. Yeah. And then sometimes you can that's the only place around, and we like to get fuel at one of the bigger, just a little cheaper. Now a lot of people use Pilots and Flying J's, and we tend to use the big box stores like this.
Yeah. Flying J is normally never cheaper. We
tend to be able to find meat at less per pound at Sam's Club, and the big one.
Well, the caveat there, though, the caveat with the meat is that if you go to the Costco Business Center and you buy it in bulk, you can buy large pieces of meat for a lot cheaper per pound, and then you just got to be willing to cut it up. Yes. And freeze it and stuff like that. But then it's cheaper at Costco, otherwise Sam's Club.
So yeah, if it's one that has diesel where we stop, which I think actually Sam's Club has consistently had diesel. Not all Costco's have diesel.
Pretty consistently, yeah.
Anyways, that being said, the one thing though that has sort of stood out has been the muffins. So Costco used to be 2 for $6 or something to that effect. And they were these big old muffins, and you had to buy 2, or I guess you could buy 1, but the deal was 2 minimum. And so they were good, but then they get stale
before you could finish all 12 muffins.
Yeah, and they were very good, really good value. That's not there anymore, and so kind of a bummer. What they have instead, and we haven't tried anything but the chocolate ones,
which are basically chocolate cake. Let's be real. We eat them for dessert.
$7 for one little container. So they're smaller, which is probably fine.
They're like an actual normal sized muffin, not the giant, massive guys.
Oh yeah, see here, let me get over to, the exhaust brake. I'm not even braking, like you can see, and yet we are slowing down. 128 horsepower of, if I want to be doing 54 miles an hour down this big old grade, it'll just maintain us right there. Like, this is pretty good. And then it lets off. Smart. It downshifts and all that good stuff. What an advantage this is. The Costco ones are smaller, but I think you get like 8 in a package or something like that.
I think you get 8 instead of 6, yeah.
Yeah, so they're smaller, but it's probably the same amount of volume, $7. And the chocolate ones used to be really kind of dry, I found. They weren't very, they were like really good and moist the first day, but I have found that they'd always been dry. However, these ones now, it's like fudge filled. They're so good.
This is the first time I've had these in years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're really good. They're like chocolate cake, so dessert is when we eat them, not breakfast.
No, yeah. And we probably should not, but we've been doing pretty good. And it's actually kept us, little things like that, like switching over, it's kept us from wanting to eat out or go get ice cream, whatever. It's like, no, this is fine. So we're tapering down. Anyways, but then we went to Sam's Club. Now, Sam's Club has the same size as Costco used to have. And so you get like 6 per container, I think it is.
Yeah, you get 6 of the bigger ones versus 8 of the smaller ones.
And I looked at them and I was like, oh, these don't look very good. But they're almost as soft and creamy and fudgy on the inside. Almost. So Costco definitely has the edge there, but Sam's Club, it seems like the same volume. Sam's Clubs are almost as good. I mean, I'm surprised at how good they were, but I also think the Sam's Club ones were a buck cheaper, $1 or $2 cheaper.
Yeah, they're like $1 or $2 cheaper too, to buy 6 of the big ones at Sam's Club versus 8 of the small ones at Costco. So like not the end of the world, but...
No. But I thought that would be an interesting comparison because we've been sort of playing around with like, which is better? And I think that honestly, it's a lot of it is a wash, but Sam's Club definitely has, for what we spend money on and how we spend, other than water, cases of water, it's like $1 cheaper at Costco. But I think in general, I think Sam's Club has a lead.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, and their food court is better.
Yeah, and their food court is better.
Way better. Yeah. Now, we've spent some time here in Butte before.
Yep, there was a cool music festival we went to.
Mm-hmm. And I really like the Mineral Museum. I learned a lot about minerals. They're not just rocks. So I don't think we're going to be spending any time here today, but we'll come on back. I can see us coming back. I love Butte. I don't know why. It's just a cute little place. I like it better than Billings, I think.
Yeah, I like it better than Billings.
Yeah.
And probably Bozeman too.
Oh,
but we're gonna stop in Bozeman today.
Bozeman doesn't do it for me, I don't think. It's just there's something about it. It's like it feels like a big city. It just feels kind of weird. I don't know. But
if I have to pick a Montana town, I think I'm picking Butte.
Butte, or there's a few. Kalispell is real cool.
Yeah.
There's a few, and what they really love their RVs out here. I feel like here in Arizona, we just fit in, you know.
Yeah.
Here, Arizona, and a lot of places in Nevada. We are home for the evening. This Cabela's here in Post Falls, Idaho. Somebody's got an elk call they're playing around with. This spot here in Post Falls, they actually allow you to stay overnight, which is kind of nice.
For 48 hours.
Yeah. Which it's kind of funny. Is there one over here too that doesn't have a truck? Yeah. The N1, they don't have a truck, and this Jayco doesn't have a truck.
And then this Jeep doesn't have a trailer.
I don't know. That's funny.
There's also a Walmart like 2 parking lots away that's got 24-hour RV parking. So you got 3 nights here if you need it. We've
actually seen more and more places specifying that you can stay, but you can only stay for so long.
Which I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Tell me I can stay for 24 hours and we're good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me I can stay for 48 hours, we're good.
Which usually we stay a night or 2. So I think that's a really good compromise. It's like we don't want to move in, so the majority of overnight travelers, including ourselves, that's a great rule for. But those folks that sort of abuse the system a little bit, or
Yeah.
And I'm sure that like if you had an actual emergency or you broke down, like I'm sure that a manager would be more understanding.
If you want to talk to him, yeah.
But that should be a rare thing.
Right. Like, and we are not the kind of people that like to go and necessarily ask for permission.
No. Bugs are out.
Ask for permission places, but we will obey any sign posted.
We do have our air conditioner running. For those curious, it is way hotter here than it was in Montana.
Yeah, it's like, it was like 92 degrees when we got here.
Yeah, so it's cooling down. We got the AC running though, and yeah, that's pretty nice. So tomorrow we'll get up bright and early, and we're gonna head over to Washington, and then we have one final destination, and we should be there for a few days.
Do you know where we're going yet? Have you figured it out? Leave it in the comments.
Yep. Leave your thoughts below. All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.